Daddy's Home 2 is directed by Sean Anders and it stars Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell, Linda Cardellini, John Lithgow, and Mel Gibson. And after getting used to each other's existence, Dusty and Brad are now co-parenting their common children and raising both their families together. And to try and organize a together Christmas, they invite their parents over, but their parents are very intrusive and very different. These two families and their ways of raising a family clash and hijinks ensue. I enjoyed the first Daddy's Home. It's not much, but with that film, what works there works here, and that is the chemistry and dynamic between Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. These two guys are great. Whenever they're bickering with each other or trying to work together, it's very good comedy that ensues with these two guys. You can tell these two are completely different characters and they really need to make an effort to try and get used to each other and the way each other raises their children, but you see them making that effort. You see them trying to be good co-parents, but also learning from certain experiences and certain things that their kids say and do because of their different ways of raising them. And Will Ferrell works very well with Lithgow and Wahlberg works very well with Gibson. The couples of parents that they insert in here are very good, but there are some downsides to this film. First of all, I laughed consistently throughout in this film, but I'm not sure this is one comedy that works on repeat viewings. There is one portion of this film nearing the end that is hilarious, absolute genius, and there are a couple of things in this film that work really well as far as the characters are concerned and what they go through in this film trying to raise their children and having different ways of raising their children, especially when the grandpas are included and they're against very much what their sons are trying to do. But it feels like the film is doing the same shtick all over again. There's a slapstick thing going on that goes on throughout the whole film. There's one element of raising their children, a very specific one that goes on throughout the film. There's this back and forth between Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson that consistently comes up throughout the film and never gets resolved. So it's like 5 categories of humor that they keep doing over and over and over and over and over again throughout the film. And at one point the characters feel so different, feel so contradictory to each other that you're like, how were you able to raise a family together up until this point? But there are a couple of show stealers in this film, and one is this little girl, the youngest daughter of Mark Wahlberg, who is being raised by Will Ferrell. She kills whenever she is in the spotlight. She has one particular scene in this film where she's both adorable and scary, and she nails every bit of comedy. And also John Cena. Look, I don't want John Cena to star in films. I don't think he's a great actor, but his comedic timing, what he showed in this film, really surprised me. He was incredibly well utilized, and he did a fantastic job in utilizing those comedy chops that he has, or at least that he has learned throughout his experiences in being a supporting character in films. But I do really have to say, despite enjoying the guy and being a person that has nothing against him personally, despite acknowledging the mistakes, very bad ones he has done in the past, Mel Gibson in this film, his character, it feels like the writers didn't realize they didn't have an arc to him. And I know comedy doesn't necessarily have to have an arc, but if you look at this film and you look at the character of Mel Gibson in this film, it's like, oh, you're just a dick. That's what he is. He is a dick. And at the end, without spoiling anything, they just remember that, oh, we get nothing redeemable for this character. Alright, let's do this. And they do exactly what you're thinking. And John Lithgow, look, the man is a great actor and he is adorable in this film and he is funny with Will Ferrell. 5 minutes into him showing up in the film, you can tell what is going on. And the film feels very predictable in some points more than that one. Overall, I enjoyed Daddy's Home 2 throughout the entire runtime. The dynamics of the characters work for the most part. There is an overabundance of reliance on the same type of comedy, but there are a couple of scenes that steal the show. There are a couple of scenes that had me almost crying from laughter, and comedy is the most subjective genre of them all. I can recommend you to go see Daddy's Home 2, but whether you watch it or not, your heart will go on. What did you think of Daddy's Home 2, my beautiful geekies? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Do you like this one more or the first one? I personally like this one more, but let me know what you thought in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. There's a reaction and a review to the Infinity War trailer that came out earlier today, and there's reviews for The Disaster Artist, Darkest Hour, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Molly's Game, Call Me By Your Name, and many others I watched at a film festival last week. Go check all those out. And so until tomorrow with the Mountain Between Us review, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so you can be geeky united!